You know, we often think of our minds as something that just happens to us, this whirlwind of thoughts and fears and habits. But what if it's a system you could actually get into, a system you could consciously direct? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're exploring hypnosis, a tool that claims to do exactly that.
So I want you to meet Tiffany Smith. For her, the dentist wasn't just another appointment. It was pure terror. And that feeling, it's so visceral, it's real. I mean, the sound of the drill, the memory of one bad experience, it can program a really deep-seated fear right into our minds. It's a fear a lot of us can probably relate to.
But what if that programming wasn't permanent? What if you could actually go in, find the source code of that fear, and just rewrite it? This is the core promise of clinical hypnosis. It's a way to consciously change the automatic responses of your subconscious mind. You know, the part that's running in the background, handling all your habits and your gut reactions.
To really get how that works, first we need to get past all the stage shows and the swinging pocket watches. Let's take a look at what clinical hypnosis actually is.
The American Psychological Association gives us this really clear definition. So let's break it down. Focused attention and reduced peripheral awareness, that just means you're totally zeroed in on one thing. But the crucial part, the real magic, is in that last phrase, an enhanced capacity for response to suggestion. In this state, your mind is just much more open to new ideas and instructions.
And here's the thing, you've already been there, I promise. Have you ever been so lost in a good book or a movie that the world around you just kind of fades away? Or maybe you've driven a route you know really well and suddenly you realize you've arrived, but you don't remember all the specific turns? That's a hypnotic state. It's a totally natural, everyday thing, just like daydreaming.
Now, this is where a lot of people get hypnosis and meditation mixed up, and it's an easy mistake to make because both involve focused attention. But there is one absolutely crucial difference: suggestion. See, meditation is about observing your thoughts without judgment. Hypnosis, on the other hand, actively uses suggestion to guide your mind toward a specific outcome, like feeling calm or not noticing pain as much.
Okay, so let's go back to Tiffany Smith. Remember her? Shaking in that dental chair. How does this tool apply to her very real, very intense fear?
Well, it turns out it's surprisingly effective and yet shockingly underutilized. Get this, studies show hypnosis is a super powerful tool for dental phobia, but only about 5% of dentists actually use it. Most are still just relying on traditional medications.
But for Tiffany, it made all the difference in the world. With hypnosis, her dentist helped her reframe her fear and change her perception of pain. And the result? She had a filling done with no anesthesia at all. She simply used her mind to control her body's response. It's just a powerful testament to what's really possible.
Okay, so from conquering fear in a dental office, let's raise the stakes. Let's see how this concept builds when we move from the dental chair to the operating room, where things get even more serious.
And listen, this is not some new fad. The use of hypnosis in surgery has a long history. It was used for mastectomies way back in 1829. This was long before we had modern anesthesia. Surgeons were actually relying on this focused state of mind to perform major operations. It's a tried and true medical tool.
Today, its role has evolved a bit. In modern procedures, like breast cancer surgery, it's used to manage the body's massive stress response. We now know that extreme stress can actually suppress the immune system, which is the last thing you want during or after surgery. So hypnosis helps keep the body's defenses strong.
And the benefits just keep stacking up. Patients who use hypnosis in surgery say they have less pain, less anxiety, and less fatigue. It works because the hypnotic suggestion can literally influence the brain's processing centers. It's like it turns down the volume on pain signals. So they need fewer drugs, they leave the hospital sooner, and their wounds can actually heal faster. It's a huge improvement to the entire experience.
So we've seen hypnosis help manage really tough problems like fear and pain. But what about taking something that's already good and making it great? What about enhancing human performance?
Any elite athlete will tell you this. I mean, at the highest levels of competition, physical skill is pretty much a given. Everybody's strong. Everybody's fast. The difference between winning the gold and coming in second, it's almost always the mental game.
So how do they master it? Well, top athletes use techniques like hypnosis for 3 key reasons. First, to trigger relaxation whenever they want, to stay calm under pressure. Second, to mentally rehearse success over and over again until it's just automatic. And third, to tap into their subconscious, what some people call their inner coach, to find insights they didn't even know they had.
And we're talking about the greatest of all time here.
Legends like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky, they've all reportedly used these kinds of techniques to get a mental edge. They weren't just training their bodies, they were training their minds.
But you don't have to be a world champion to use this stuff. The same exact principles apply to breaking those stubborn personal habits we all have. Take smoking. Hypnotherapy isn't really about willpower. It's about getting into the subconscious to find the root trigger, the stress, the boredom, whatever it is, and then reprogramming that response, cutting the link between the trigger and the craving.
So, whether we're talking about managing fear, controlling pain, or quitting a bad habit, all of these examples are pointing to one central, powerful theme: the incredible connection between our minds and our bodies.
Here's the bottom line. Hypnosis is a tool for tapping into that mind-body connection. For fear, it calms down that emotional response. For pain, it changes how the pain is even perceived. And for performance, it helps rewire those deep automatic patterns. In every single case, it's about using focused suggestion to consciously direct this incredibly powerful internal system.
Ultimately, what all this shows is that the wall between our mind and our body is way more porous than we usually think. There's this constant two-way conversation happening all the time. Hypnosis is simply a way to consciously step into that conversation and start giving some new directions. Which leaves us with one final question. We've seen it used to manage fear, to speed up healing, and to reach peak performance. So if you could tap into that same inner system to rewrite your own programming, what would you want to achieve?